emerged from Los Angeles. Working just blocks from one another in film, recording, and television studios around Sunset Boulevard, living in Brentwood and Beverly Hills, or amid the flickering lights of the Hollywood Hills, a cluster of transformative talents produced a sustained burst of pop culture mastery and innovation. There was a tremendous feeling of anything is possible, musician Graham Nash remembered. What do you want to think of? We can do anything. What do you want? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to play? What album do you want to make? There was no end to it. We were in this pool of, magic stuff, and it was rubbing off on everybody. Linda Ronstadt, a few years behind Nash in the climb to stardom, felt the same way. L.A. was a lens that American culture was focused through in those days, she recalled, like Berlin before World War II. Those producing some of their career's greatest work in Los Angeles at this time included Robert Altman, Warren Beatty, Peter Bogdanovich, Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, Jack Nicholson, Gordon Parks, Arthur Penn, Roman Polanski, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, and Robert Towne in film, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Jackson Browne, The Eagles, Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Linda Ronstadt, James Taylor, and Bill Withers in music, and Alan Alda, James L. Brooks, Alan Burns, Larry Gelbart, Norman Lear, Mary Tyler Moore, Carol O'Connor, Rob Reiner, and Gene Reynolds in television. Behind them were legendary executives, agents, and managers, including Lou Adler, Clarence Avant, David Geffen, Berry Gordy, and Mo Austin in the music industry, and in film and television, Barry Diller and Michael Eisner, first at ABC and then at Paramount, Robert Evans of Paramount, and Robert Wood of CBS. I don't know what was in the air or in the water, but everything from Malibu to Hollywood was magical, said Irving Azoff, who rode the Southern California wave to fame and riches as the combative manager of the Eagles. The restaurants were magical, the clubs were magical, the people. It was an extraordinarily creative period, remembered Michael Ovitz, a Los Angeles native who became the entertainment industry's most powerful agent during the 1980s. The birth of phenomenal music artists, the birthing of Spielberg and of Lucas and Coppola and Scorsese, all these filmmakers came out of nowhere. Danny Korchmar, a prominent rock session guitarist and collaborator with Carole King and Don Henley, summarized it more succinctly when he recalled of Los Angeles at that time that you couldn't throw a rock without hitting a genius. Los Angeles has had other great periods in film, the years around World War II, television, the golden age of the 1950s, and the peak TV era that has gathered momentum through the 21st century, and music, the hip-hop revolution of the later 1980s and 90s. Yet, the early 1970s was the moment when all three of these industries simultaneously reached a creative peak, and 1974 stood as the absolute pinnacle of this cultural renaissance. For Los Angeles, those 12 glittering months represented Magic Hour. In film, 1974 saw the release of Chinatown, The Godfather Part II, The Conversation, and the great Vietnam documentary Hearts and Minds, the filming of Nashville, Jaws, and Shampoo, and the completion of the first draft screenplay for a space adventure called Star Wars. In television, the year brought together the transformative comedies All in the Family, MASH, and Mary Tyler Moore, along with the Bob Newhart and Carol Burnett shows, on a CBS Saturday schedule that has been called the greatest night in television history. That year, Joni Mitchell, the Eagles, Jackson Browne, and Linda Ronstadt all issued career-redefining albums on Geffen's label, and Bob Dylan and the band, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young mounted record-setting concert tours with him. A fresh breeze blew through even the state's politics that year, when California elected Edmund Gerald Jerry Brown, Jr. as its youngest governor in decades. The great art produced in early 1970s Los Angeles was socially engaged, grappling with all the changes and critiques of American life that had rumbled through society.